Hey, Lorraine, can you hear me? I think your mic is muted. I don't want to unmute you because maybe it's
Yes, I
muted.
can hear you. Good afternoon, Kamga.
Sweet. Good afternoon, though. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Not too fine though.
Uh-oh. Let me try and first of all reduce whatever it is that I'm playing here, that music. So not so fine. What's up? Is this a good time to talk about it or no?
Yeah, I didn't really sleep very well last night. My daughter was very hot at night. She
Oh,
had like a very high fever, and we went to the hospital this morning, but they recommended some treatment.
how's she doing
But
now?
thank goodness she was not hospitalized. Yeah, she's okay. Her body's just warm. I gave her
Yeah.
a cold bath, so I just hope she's going to be fine.
Okay.
So they
All
just said
right.
it was an infection.
It's not easy to be a parent, though. It's very mild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm sure she's going to be okay very soon.
Okay. That's good to hear. Happy to hear that. Yeah. Hope she feels better soon.
Yeah, it's already 4 p.m.
Yes, it is 4 p.m. And I want to assume that people probably assume that it's going to take forever for this to start. So I just started. I'm trying to check like the audio and stuff. Is my voice clear? Are you able to hear me? Like, is everything okay? I want to make sure that
Yeah,
everything is okay.
everything is okay. Everything looks good to me.
All right. All right. So you're going to be leading the review.
What?
I'm kidding.
Don't do that to me. I beg you.
No. Yeah, I just want some people to hop in. I think I've already put a link. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those who want to hop in are going to hop in. And I was looking at some reviews, like some. Right now, what I want to do is first of all just test to see, like, I was supposed to go live on Instagram, but I just changed my mind on that one. I need to first of all wait.
Okay. Are we live on Facebook now?
We are live everywhere right now. So Facebook, on my
Okay.
page, on my profile, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter. So yeah,
Mhm.
the cool
You
thing
know,
with
you
streaming.
always talk about Twitch, but
Mhm.
we don't really know about Twitch
Yeah,
in
Twitch is mostly
Cameroon.
for gaming and well, predominantly, but the people who do other things there. So for me, I used to play video games when I was still playing. I used to be on Twitch, but yeah,
Okay.
I stopped playing because it just takes a lot of my time.
I
And I thought of
know.
the value that I was getting from it, and it wasn't very high. So I just was like, Kamga, just maybe it's time to change and grow up. I don't necessarily grow up, but maybe it's time to pause
Yeah.
until there's a different point. Yeah, I'm trying to add a banner to scroll down on this thing. I keep forgetting to type. But yeah, I think
Okay,
it's going to be a very brief view.
so we are in the studio now. The other
We
people who are
understood.
going to be joining with the YouTube link are going to be on the other side.
No, so right now, since so basically when you clicked on that link, I saw you in the studio, and then I added you to the thing. So if you go to your YouTube right now, you probably first of all it'll cause an echo because you hear the voice and then hear me at the same time. But right now
Oh,
we are
okay.
actually live. Yeah. So anybody who joins,
Mm.
I'm going to see them on the screen on the bottom there, and then I can add them. So yeah,
Okay. Okay.
that's pretty much it. I think StreamYard has
All right.
taken away. My
So
master used
let
StreamYard, so
me.
I'm trying to wrap my head
I
around
want
it.
to go and call some people. Let me get some
Okay.
people to
No
join.
worries. Yeah, you can leave the studio, come back anytime. No problem. You just click the link and then join back in.
Okay. But I don't want to go. I'm just going to go to another page.
All right.
I'll just mute myself and go to another page.
Sounds good. How's this thing taking forever to load? Okay, let's go to. I've been live for almost 10 minutes. I think I need to start talking very soon about this whole situation. Hey, if you're watching this, go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know if. Okay, this is probably not the audio I was looking for. Let's see. So the poll, let me see the poll that we had here. How many people have read the book? 7 votes. So there's a poll that I put on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you probably see it. Maybe you won't. It's in the chat section there on YouTube. But essentially, there's a poll for those who've read the book versus those who haven't read the book. And actually, 7 people have voted. You might want to go vote. And the majority of people have not read Atomic Habits. This is the book right here. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Tiny changes, remarkable results. So this is a book that we're going to talk about, or at least start talking about, because it's been a while since I read it, and I was supposed to do this review, and I promised myself I'll do it. So here we are, and I'm hoping that other people who've read the book will actually come and joggle my memory. If not, I'll just read my notes from my book. Because I read it on Kindle, took down some notes and stuff. And so the goal really is to share a few key nuggets that you can use from today, because that's the point of books, at least in my opinion, is if you're going to read a book, it's not just to read it and say you've read the book. Read the book and make use of it, because there's so many books in the world, so many other things that you could be doing apart from reading, that if you're going to waste your time, put waste in quotes, if you're going to use the time to read a book, then you might as well, make use of it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to share some of the things that we could make use of from the book. Sounds good? Hope it does. I'm talking to myself. I think I'm going crazy. Oh, yes, I'm going to leave a comment. Actually, let me just go ahead and put it right here. There is a newsletter / Lorraine's back. Yay. Let me add you to the stream, Lorraine. There's a newsletter that was it started yesterday? Not really started. It's been around for a bit, but hey, Maddie, I see you on the. Hi, welcome to the stream where we try to figure out whether we're going to use all this time to just wait for people to show up, or if we're going to talk about Atomic Habits and then come on, what you play. That's what we're doing. We're just waiting. Whenever I nod my head, like I think of my brother. Hey, that's Emmanuel. Look at that, getting people jumping in. That's cool. Emmanuel, I don't know if you're listening to me, but let me know if you want me to add you to the studio, just so that I can know if you're ready, because sometimes you might be in like a noisy environment or you know you're ready. But yeah, just you can leave a comment, just a thumbs up or something, because I cannot see. So if the video was on, I'll be able to see what's going on, but since it's your audio that's on, I cannot see. So just let me know if you're ready. Or I'll assume that you're ready in like a few minutes and just add you. think this song actually works. I'm going to leave this particular one on repeat and just lower the volume. Yes. Hi, Maddie. I think I did say that. I was looking for. So we're live on YouTube. Let me check on Facebook. Wait, that's weird. Oh no, it's not weird. All right, Emma. I'm just going to assume that you're here. I'm going to add you. I'll be cool with that.
I
Good
think
to
it's
go ahead
okay
and
now.
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Sweet. I saw your message on you shared the flyer on Instagram. I really appreciated that, man. It's really nice. Thank you.
The pleasure is mine. I think I really appreciate the work you are doing, and best way I can do is the minimum I can do is share
Thank you.
when something interesting, I guess.
Yeah. And this is the first time we're actually talking. I know we've chatted a little bit on Instagram, but we haven't really had a like a an actual call or chat or anything like that. Oh, did I lose you, Emma? You have my dad's name, by the way. Let me see what's going on here. I'm probably going to begin because I saw. Let me see. Where did I put that thing? Cool. Wait a minute. How's this? Why am I unable to find what I'm looking for? Did I lose everyone? Lorraine? Emma? I guess gone? Am I even live?
Yes, we are still live.
Okay. That like in those movies where something happens and then you're the only one who finds out when everybody's already gone. You're like the last person waiting. So Lorraine, have you read like what 50%, 10%, 20% of the book? Like how much of it have you finished it?
Hmm.
You've read the summary online.
No. Yes, I've read a summary, and there was a time when I was listening to the audiobook, but at some point I was distracted.
Hmm.
So
I mean, you
yeah.
have a lot on your plate on a like on daily basis, so I'm not even expecting you to be able to read it. No,
Yeah,
hundred
but
percent.
I mean I know about this book. I've known about this book ever since, and you were the first person to tell me about Atomic Habits. I know about the book, but I'm sure I've read just like the first chapter, but I've not really been able to continue.
Yeah, I've read the book.
Yes.
I finished. I think I listened to no, I think I listened to the audiobook. I read the ebook, and I got a physical copy, but I didn't read it
Mm.
recently. So a lot of what I know about it is just gone. So it's like I've never read it. The way I think about it now, I don't remember most of the book, to be honest.
Mhm.
So you're not alone. But I have some of the key ideas, and then I found this article that has some really cool key takeaways that I thought would be relevant to our discussion. And so,
Mhm.
yeah, but my goal really was to just go through the article and then just bounce ideas and talk about what I learned, what I'm going to be applying, because the key idea really now from the title Atomic, like small habits, is like start small. Here's how habits work. Here's what you should
Mm-hmm.
consider when you want to build good habits. Here's what you should consider when you want to stop bad habits. And I think it's important to find out and know these things because we live in a world where we have limited time. And if you don't figure out the habits that you want
Mm-hmm.
to add or remove, then you just waste valuable time. So I think it's a good book. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to very, very popular. So everybody has heard of it. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think implementing the ideas of the book are already difficult because even though I've read the book twice, I still don't remember most of it, which already tells like the kind of
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's my head or just the book, but yeah, we'll see. Do you remember any one thing, anything that stood out from you from the book? Like anything that like okay, here's a one key point from my
From Atomic
interaction with it.
Habits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing I took from the book, from reading it, was the fact that just like the title goes, atomic, like you need to do like little effort. So it's preferable for you to, like, let me give an example of what I'm going through at the moment. So I had a baby 6 months ago, and my body has gone through so many changes. And right now, all I want to do is I have this goal that I want to lose weight. I want to go back to the way I was. But with the atomic habits, instead of trying to just achieve that goal of going back to the way I was, whereas I can easily always come back to, having this body, even if it's not the baby, it can be maybe eating unclean the way I'm eating and all of that. So with atomic habits, you want to create a different lifestyle. You want to you want to change radically. You want to decide that I'm going to be having vegetables during every meal. You want to do that every day so that your body and your mind can go through these changes so that you're not going to be struggling with weight anymore. So instead of achieving goals and then going back to the way you were, achieving goals, going back to the way you were, achieving goals, going back to the way you were, why not do little efforts every day, which is definitely going to make you part of it. For example, if you stay for 30 days without taking sugar. Okay, somebody's cleaning
Yeah.
while listening.
Nah, don't
Okay.
worry about it. I just put it there so that in
All
case you know that
right.
we're
So
listening. Yeah.
it's interesting to have somebody cleaning while listening, huh?
Yeah. No, yeah, that's what I do all the time when I'm listening to podcasts or I mean it's not as if we're
Yeah.
doing any major editing. We're just talking. So,
I know.
yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah.
so what was I talking about sugar? Okay.
Yeah.
So imagine somebody who has gone for 30 days without sugar. By the time you get back to sugar, it's going to be difficult for you. When you taste sugar after 30 days, your body is going to be like, what's this? But then if you continue taking the sugar, you're even going to take in more than the way you took it before you took the 30 days fasting from sugar. So with atomic habits, you're not doing like radical changes, you're doing little effort every day to go towards your goal. So that's actually what stands out the most for me when it comes to atomic habits.
That's a wonderful key takeaway, Lauren. Thank you for sharing that. And I don't know if you're listening to us. I would love to hear what you have to say about the book if you've read it. But I think it's very relevant, especially because trying to what you've gone through. First of all, one, I'll never have a child. Like my body is never going to know what that is like, so I don't even know where to begin. Like I don't know. But two, it just trying to imagine. You know where you were. You know what your body looked like. You know how you want to feel, and then you have this circumstance that is not really within your control, but sort of is, but it's not. And then you have to deal with all this. So yeah, it's a wonderful takeaway of don't try to change everything all at once. Just begin with the atomic level, at the small habits, and building that up. And I think the book I was reading a short form, like short form is this app that allows you to have books summarized, and literally the title is "Small Adjustments Lead to Massive Transformation." That's one of the headlines, right? So it says, so Claire explains that implementing atomic habits or small improvements in behavior changes your life because behaviors compound. So whatever you do in small quantities, whether it's saving a little bit of money, exercising a little bit, eating a little bit healthier, sleeping a little bit earlier, like over time, by doing those things in small quantities, it compounds, which I think is relevant to what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one great key takeaway. But yeah. Let's see. There's and you also mentioned something about identity changes. One of those things that I don't know if it's James Clear who brought it, but there's another book, the I think it's Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. And some of the reviews or articles I've written about the books compares them into such a way they're quite similar in the way they look at the way they approach the idea with the whole cue. I think there's cue, craving, reward, and process. I cannot remember the last thing, but essentially, oh, there's a private chat. Let me see here. Sorry, I got distracted. Oh, okay. I see Emma is having some issue, some difficulty logging in, probably the audio. Yeah. Let me see. And then what? Okay. Cool. Anyway, so there are different kinds of habits, apparently, according to James Clear. There's goal-driven habits, system-driven habits, and identity-driven habits. And I think what you mentioned was part of the identity-driven habits. Wait, was it? No, it was a goal. It's like you want to lose weight.
Yeah, a goal.
Yeah. Yeah. So Claire explains that a goal-driven habit is a behavior that you do in order to achieve a specific goal. This is the most common way people try to change their behavior. For example, you might choose to study 2 extra hours each day in order to ace a specific test. So apparently, and this is part of the review process, is what kinds of goals should you shoot for? In Principles, Life and Work, the billionaire Ray Dalio recommends that you be audacious. Basically, if you know you can achieve a goal with certainty, then you're probably not aiming high enough. That's for the goal-driven habits. I think one thing that I would like to do with this whole session for anybody who's watching, listening, is like at least take something that you can go and use today. You don't have to read the whole book. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to even listen to this whole conversation. But if you can listen to a part of it and take one thing that you can use, that's fine. And the one thing that I'm getting from these goal-driven habits is that if your goal is too certain, then you're not aiming high enough. Now, what I'll add personally there is I don't go and take some kind of goals that are so impossible to achieve that you just end up feeling overwhelmed and disappointed and sad because you're not achieving them. That I think a lot of the bad habits that we keep sometimes is because we want to just change them overnight. We want to just get up one morning and then from not going to the gym ever, once I go to the gym 7 days a week. So yeah, goal-driven habits, set good goals, I guess. What do you think, Lorraine? And Emma and Trace, I don't know if you guys can hear us. If you guys, I don't know if you're able to you can type in actually. I'll be able to read your. If you leave your comments, those who are watching, if you have feedback, anything you want to talk about, just type. I would share it on the screen and then we'll read it and then talk about it. So feel free to do that. And those who are in the book club, they can join. And there is a book club. So there's Emma on 2 different screens. Emma, have you cloned yourself? Let me add those. Emma is all over like what?
No, I haven't. The issue is my network is pretty terrible, so it's like logging in and logging out.
All right.
That's why it results in that. Very sorry for that.
Yeah, no worries at all. I'd like to hear what you have to share, or if you have any questions or comments or anything. So while we have you, do you want to give your comment on this, on all of what we're talking about so far? I lost him. All right. Well, I'll continue with the next kind of system-driven habits. This is another one that I think is a good one. Claire contends that system-driven habits are those that focus on the systems or processes that will get you to your goal instead of focusing on the goal itself. For example, developing a study routine, a morning routine, a sleep routine is a system-driven habit because it focuses on the process of studying, of sleeping, of waking up, rather than the goal of acing a specific test or course. And in this review, they added that, like Clear, indestructible author Nir Eyal suggests that some people fail to develop habits because they fail to focus on the processes. And I mean, I'm definitely guilty of this in many ways. Eyal adds to the idea by arguing that you can only form a mindless habit by repeating the processes that require effort, but that some people don't put in the effort because they mistakenly think habits should be easy from the beginning. I think that's interesting, Lorraine. I don't know what you think, but I think there's this idea that you can just get up and change. That the moment you want to stop eating sugar, you just be like, I don't eat sugar today for the rest of my life, and then you just stop. I think we underestimate how much change requires really thoughtful, process driven, really thinking through the process of how will my body react to this thing. If I want to start reading, let's take reading for example, the book club. I think there are people who assume, and I've done this myself a lot, who assume that the moment I'm interested in something, I'll always be interested in it, which is not really true. Sometimes we're bored, sometimes we're tired, sometimes we are busy. So building a habit is not easy. It might be simple. It might be starting with those, like what you said earlier, starting with those small atomic, adding them small, stacking habits, but it's not easy. And I think it's important to recognize that it's not easy, and you should be able to build a system to do it.
Yeah, that's true. Like when I'm even about to do changes in my life, I will not even make it obvious because I feel like each time I say I'm going to start doing this, it's like everything will start working against me, and I will just not be able to do it because I cannot count the number of times that I've probably not been on YouTube for a long time, and then I'll come back to YouTube. I'll be like, "Hey, I'm back. I'm going to be creating content." And like after that video, before the next video comes up, it's going to be like 3 months later. So
Yeah.
I don't even talk again. I'm just like everything.
You
I'm
just
just
show up.
ashamed.
But that's the thing too, because he actually mentioned some stuff about that, which is making it obvious and making it easy. There's I think one of the first thing they said here was, let me see, small adjustments. No, there's one thing, the momentum. Okay, let me read this one and then address it, because I think it's important to this identity driven habits. Okay, Claire explains that identity driven habits are behaviors we perform because they match our beliefs about who we are. In other words, our identity. For example, if you believe you're a good student, you have a good study routine because that's what good students do. So in your example, right, if you believe you're a YouTuber, then you have good YouTuber routines. For example, instead of trying to make, I don't know, the best video ever, a viral video every single time, what you do is you come up with ideas, you have a creative routine, you set time to edit, you take your time to work on your thumbnail. So identity-driven habits are a little bit different from goal-driven habits, where it's like, oh, I want to post a video every day. That's a goal-driven habit. Or I want to get 1,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers, or I don't know, make money on YouTube. So what I think ties to what you talk about identity and what I'm trying to work on myself with is like, I have difficulty. This is like one habit that I'm working on, which is that I don't sleep early enough, which means that I usually wake up late and I'm tired and I don't get to do a lot of things in the morning. So what I'm trying to find out and tell myself, really trying to do this whole identity driven habit thing, is like, I am an early morning riser. So now what that says to me is, if I'm an early morning riser, then probably that kind of person who is an early morning riser should sleep early, which means that for them to sleep early, they have to have stopped working by X time. They have to have had their night routine that they do before they go to bed. And probably they have to turn off their phone or disconnect from the internet around this time. So working from identity, like I am a YouTuber, or I want to be a YouTuber, or a good mom, or whatever it is that you are, then you work backwards. That's what I think might be the best way to look at it, instead of trying to force yourself with these goal-driven habits of, let me make these videos today. Because sometimes you get motivated, you have willpower, you're excited, you know, good things happen, and you just feel like, oh, let me just take all this energy and make videos. But if that's not your identity, then the next day you just go back to like,
That's true.
that. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's true. You're right.
I mean, it's something I'm struggling with there. So I have to find a way to logically make it easy for me to understand. Like, let's take this live stream, right? There's so many times when I was like, Kamga, don't do this thing. You're not gone to YouTube in forever. Like, what are you talking about? What are you trying to do? Like, just, you haven't even read the book. Like, what are you talking about? So, but now I'm like, well, if I'm a YouTuber, then I show up when I say I'm going to show up. So for me, it's so much more about confirming that I am who I say I am. Because if I don't show up, now I have this conflict in my head that, Kamga, you said you were this person, but you're not this person. So who are you? And then identity crisis kicks in, and then soon enough, I disappear for 6 months. We have some comments coming in. Hey. Hello, everyone. Sorry it was not possible to continue streaming. The experience is better here on YouTube for me. Oh, Emma. Okay. Good. All right. I hear you. I need to find some way to get this done. But yeah, feel free to share your comments, Emmanuel. Please, I would love to read them and share them on the screen to hear what you have to say. If you've read the book, if you disagree with everything that I'm saying, or if you agree with some of it, I would love to hear that. Yeah. BCH Master, Happy New Year, bro. How far? I agree with identity-driven habits, right? Yeah, there's like goal-driven, system-driven, and identity-driven. And then, funny thing, Lauren, as I'm sharing these things, right? This is another thing that I'm
Yeah.
realizing. As I'm talking about these things, I'm much more likely to remember them. Which is a whole like, if you want to make
Yeah.
learning a habit, you are much more likely to find. If I think it was from this, I don't know what's a mind with numbers. It's like one of this learning hacks is like when you're learning something, imagine they're going to teach you to someone else. You're much more likely to remember the things. Which goes back to the way we do habits is
Yes.
if you know how the body works, how the brain works, how the human progresses and motivation, you can actually fool yourself into achieving your goals. Like, I usually have water on my bed when I go to bed because when I notice that I wake up in the morning, I take my phone. And I don't like that I wake up in the morning, I just take my phone. It's been bothering me for so long, but it becomes such an ingrained habit. Then like, okay, let me first of all
Yeah.
put this morning when I woke up, I put this bottle of water intentionally before my phone so that I would take it first because I want to start drinking water.
Yeah.
And then I'll leave the phone in the room and then go and do my morning business. So it's, I think we can end the live stream here. We're done. We've ended. Jane Francis, hello, welcome to the stream. Actually, let me put for those who are watching, we have I hope this is showing up everywhere. I don't know where people are watching. Let me see this. 6 people are watching on YouTube, 2 on my profile, and 1 on Twitch. I don't know who that person on Twitch is, but thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you hanging out. I want to share the link to the news to the. We made a checklist for people who want to read more, and it's free. You can grab it for yourself, enjoy it, do what you want to do with it, read it, don't sell it. Yeah. Lauren, do you have any questions or any comments, anything that you can? Because this will feature you talk from now to tomorrow. I'm not going to stop.
No questions for now. But I was thinking about something.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we have to discuss this here, but I was like, how can we um improve reading? Yeah, I know we have our checklist, and all that, but how can we improve reading in the book club? Because we are, how many of us so far? There's a good number of us there, but
There's like 2 of us here now on live stream.
yeah. So maybe to boost the morale, make people want to upgrade, even if you're not reading, like just come and hear about it.
Yeah. I think it's let me see. Let's respond to this comment and then we'll come back to that. Is that okay?
All right, yes, that's okay.
That means it's Happy New Year. I think identity-driven habits help me become what I want with less guilt or pressure if you skip a day or action. Yeah, that's a very interesting point. There's this YouTuber, well, he's more than a YouTuber now, Matt Diavella. I used to watch him a lot when he was still very popular. I mean, he's still popular now. Just that I noticed that whenever YouTubers or people just blow up, I just stop watching them because I'm like, they're no longer for the select few. They're not for the rest of the world, so they can go and do their thing. But anyway, he had this rule of not skipping more than 2 days. Basically, what he would do is if he was supposed to go to the gym every day, if he skipped 1 day, he only told himself like he's allowed to skip a day, but not 2 days in a row. So basically, if today, for example, he was sore or tired or couldn't go, what he would do is he would not go, but the next day he would have to go. So I think what Domin is saying here ties a lot with that is you don't have the guilt or pressure of you have to show up every day. Say, for example, you want to eat healthy. You have a diet, you're following through it, and then you fall off track 1 day. You're like, it's fine. It's okay. It's just 1 day. So the only thing you have to do now is just to make sure that the next day you don't do that again. I don't know. What do you think, Lauren? Is that a fair assessment of how not making yourself feel guilty or adding pressure can help with habit building? What do you think?
Yes, yes, I think that's actually a good theory. If you, for you to not feel guilty, you can skip a couple of days, and you can decide to, let's say, for example, you can decide to pray every morning
Yeah.
before starting your day, and then there are some mornings where because you slept late, you probably woke up late and you're rushing for a meeting, you were not able to pray, you just wake up and then you just say thank you God and then you rush out. At least you need to try and
Yeah.
come home early that day and sleep early just to catch up so that you won't feel like I this Lorraine, I cannot do anything, because there's
Such
always
a
that
such a
tendency
bad
of feeling
Christian.
guilty.
Yeah.
Yes. And cursing yourself that child. So you cannot even do this thing consistently. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's I think to tie it with the book club, right? The question that you asked earlier about how can we get people to read more. One, there's a checklist,
Yeah.
which I think everybody who's watching this should grab because it contains some ideas that will make people realize that. Because I've seen some of the feedback people have received just from downloading and reading the comments. And I'm just thinking, first of all, people start reading the wrong way. I think school makes it so much harder for people to enjoy reading. And I consider myself very lucky that I have an innate love for books. Like my parents didn't exactly, I cannot remember, but my parents are not exactly readers. They've, they're educated, they've gone to school and everything, but they didn't force anybody to read specifically. I loved books because I love
Mhm.
stories. I think the advantage that I had, and people need to remember, even in their as they get older and they try to build this habit, is don't read books just because somebody said you should read them. Like honesty, if you can just read a book because you want to read it, that is the best place to begin. Find a book that you want to read. Whether people hate it, like it, love it, it doesn't matter. Find a book that you like, read that book. And then keep reading books that you like until reading becomes a habit. I think what people feel about this whole habit, especially when it comes to reading, is that we try to read books because, for example, say New York Times bestseller. So everybody's reading Atomic Habits, and I'm like, oh my god, now I have to read Atomic Habits. No, you don't. The fact that everybody's reading it doesn't mean that you have to read it. You don't have to read it because everybody's reading it. So you can actually find books that you like, whether it's people call it trash books, boring books, even children's books. Like there's a book that I'm looking for. There are actually two books I'm looking for till date that I read when I was younger, and I cannot find those books, unfortunately. One of them had a half-legged soldier and a ballerina. The other one had a samurai and a dragon. And I'm still trying to find those books because I actually want to read them. So I think one of the ways, and that's just one that we could get more people to read, is to help people find the books that they like. And how do you find books that you like? Figure out the kind of questions that you have. For example, somebody might be, I want to be a better Christian. So you're much more likely to want to read a book about Christianity, book about saints, book about religion, the Bible, for example. Or somebody says, well, I am broke. I want to make more money. Then find books about making more money, because at that particular point, you have an actual issue that you want to deal with. Like Lorraine and my friend Katie. I think Katie just put to birth. I hope. I'm sure. I don't know. It's been a while since we talked. Like, how do you become a better mom? I'm sure there's a book somewhere that would probably give you some ideas. And you might like the ideas, you might hate the ideas, but you start somewhere. Because, for example, when I came to the US, I was reading about immigration the whole time because I was like, how do I adapt in this country? How do I do this? So at that time, I wasn't reading. It was more of, I was looking for answers to questions that I had. So if you have questions, if you have things that you're interested in, find books that either answer those questions or fulfill those interests. Begin from there. And then when you've become an intermediate to advanced reader, now you can read because, okay, this book is popular. What's the book about? And then now you're reading it because you already have the reading habit. You're not trying to build a habit. You're just going the motion. Yeah. That's what I think.
Okay.
Emma says, I'm a student in University of Yaoundé 1. What do you study? And what year are you in? Oh, wait, not just what you study. Let's just say what you're in. I prefer to not have your identity on the internet. Make the book easy and put the distractions far away. Yeah, make the book easy, put the distractions far away, put the phone on top of your fridge, lock it in the safe. Yeah, there are people who have to do, like, you have to make it obvious. One of the things in the book is making it obvious. For example, I think in the book he talks about if you're going to go to work out the next morning, have your shoes ready at the door, literally the night before you go to bed. Maybe even sleep out. I don't know if you said it, but something I tried to do, sleep with your workout clothes. If you want to wake up in the morning and go to the gym, make it super easy. That's why I have books everywhere. I have books in my computer, in my phone, books around me. If everywhere in this small apartment there's a book somewhere. So if I want to read, I just need to stretch my arm and I get a book. So I don't have to go to the library. I don't have to walk to the other end of the house to find a book. So I think what Kate is saying is very relevant. If you want to make a habit of reading, or generally any habit, make it easy to start. If you want to drink water, have water around you. And I also want to add, even like, reduce the incidence of you having a bad habit, because people sometimes talk about I don't know if it was in Atomic Habits, the idea that if you want, eating healthy doesn't start in the kitchen, it starts in the grocery store or in the market. So if you don't buy the wrong food, then you don't cook it, so you don't eat it. So if all you have in your house is healthy food, you're going to eat healthy food. Yeah. Reading books I read as a kid. Animorphs. What is Animorphs? Let me see. I need to find Animorphs. Oh, Animorphs series. I'm looking at oh, The Invasion, The Visitor, The Encounter, The Message, The Predator. Wait, is that the Predator from the? Is that Catherine Applegate and her husband Misha Grant? Wait, is that Predator from like the Predator movie? I hope it's. That'd be so cool. I think as a student in Cameroon, we are born with many ambitions, but the environment, especially the educational system we grow in, causes us to grow away from identity-driven goals in life. That's a very relevant point, Ma. I think it's a very relevant point because, and I think it cuts across the board, not just in Cameroon, but even, I've been living in the US for almost 5 years now. And I think even when I look at adults, people on the internet, there is something about different cultures that make it easy to get off track of living a purposeful life. It's like once you're born into this system that is already set in a particular way, you pick up some of these habits, you pick up some of these ways of doing, until when you get to a point in your, I don't know, young adulthood, maybe even your late adulthood, where you're like, wait, these people are wrong. All of them are unhappy. All of them are sad. I don't want to live that life. And then now you have to undo all these things that you picked up as a child. And it can be tough. It can be tough. So the way that I look at it is people use their humanity as a weakness. You know, oh, I'm too emotional. That's why I said what I said. I was angry and I'm an emotional person and I just can't. Or I can't help myself. When I'm hungry, I have to eat. The things we say, the thoughts we have, those translate into the things that we do. And the things we do become the people that we are. And if you think about it that way, if you want to reverse, let me say, for example, you want to go back to this, to being an ambitious person, go back to being someone who is identity driven or goal driven, then you have to really consider what you say, what you allow into your mind, and what you speak, like the words that you speak into your own life. Like your words have a lot of power. So whether in Cameroon or in the US, surely the circumstances are different because of the what you start to play with. Like Cameroon's system is not exactly as healthy as you would want to be able to, like, oh, I have an idea, I want to start a business. Great. But I see it across the board where, because people are able to survive in different places and pick up different habits and start with different skills, I'm trying to find the best way to say this. I think you need to really think of, how can I change my identity even with this circumstance or this place that I am? Because for me personally, there's been many times, especially on 2020, when my marriage was ending, where I was like, I saw myself, I basically like, yeah, I'm a failure. This did not work. I'm a bad person. Something is wrong with me. Like I would say these things that were not necessarily nice to myself. And what did I expect? Of course, when I'll say those things, I'll feel worse and worse and worse. And my ambition would die. I did not think of, oh, let me start a business. Let me grow my YouTube channel. No, all of those things were gone. Why would I be ambitious when I feel like such a terrible person? But over time, and as I was going back to my roots of reading more books and just talking better to myself and learning from my mistakes and just learning from other people and getting support and community, you can go back to that initial ambition. I think it's possible. You can go back to that feeling of where you wake up in the morning and you feel happy that you have another day to try something more. So basically, I'm saying, Emma, don't give up. Don't give up, even if you're in Cameroon or wherever you are, because it can be tough, and it's tough for most people. I think some people are just better at hiding it. To be honest, some people are better at pretending that they are fine, but they are not. Other people find that darkness and then they use it to improve themselves. So be careful what you say about yourself, how you speak to yourself, the thoughts that you have, the thoughts you allow into your life, because those will eventually decide what you do, and what you do will decide what you become. And I think the whole point of this atomic habit is that you begin with something to become someone else other than what you are right now. I hope that helps. I was very long-winded to say that don't give up. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Lauren, I don't know, you're keeping up with me. It could be very annoying right now in your ears.
I'm keeping up. I'm listening. I'm learning.
All right. I want to learn from you. I think there are things that you've probably discovered about life that I don't even know. Being a parent, that's a different stage of life, but we'll probably talk about another book that one day where you'll be want to lead the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's this? I got all of them on PDF. I'm reading on my Kindle. The author made them all available that way. It's not the ADM relative interesting. Okay. All right. Good to know. I thought it was. And we're actually going to end this in 10 minutes because we have lives to live. Kids versus evil parasite slugs who get the power to morph into animals. Oh, that sounds interesting. That sounds very interesting. All right. Animorphs. Yeah. Oh, new comment. Two 6-year-olds and a newborn. Yeah. That is a whole other level of. It's a whole other level. You guys should probably connect and discuss and share tips and tricks. Because
wow.
yeah.
2 6-year-olds and a newborn.
Yeah. Kate has twins and a newborn.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, let's see if we can pick some nuggets to help Burns watching this on how to deal with this thing. Yeah. How to change your habits. Start with your identity. Now that you know the types of habits, wait, which types of habits do we talk about? Yeah, identity-driven habits, goal-driven habits, and system-driven habits. Yes. Yeah. I'll connect you guys. I'll send a private message. Yeah, Kate. By the way, Lauren, you should know Kate now. Katie has a YouTube channel. I haven't been on YouTube in a while, so I don't even know what's going on. But you guys should probably have some good tips to share to each other about what it's like.
Of course. I would love to watch her content.
You should. I mean, the link, the name you see right on the screen, let me actually just find the link and share it. I think it'll be so much easier. My YouTube on Chrome is just giving me a very hard time. Oh, well. Oh, yeah. Found it. Incoherent rambles, capitalism rant, baby ghost. What's wrong? What's wrong with entrepreneurs anyway? Oh, man. All right, let me send a link to Kate's vlog. Kate also does some editing as well. So yeah, that's Kate's link to Kate's YouTube channel. You can definitely reach out there and leave a comment. YouTube link on email. Yeah, I was going to read the last part before we exit for this review. It's hey, then I need to check out that video, Katie. I need to check out the video. Yeah, I haven't been done. I'm trying to just get my work done and just stay alive. You're welcome. Definitely. You're very welcome. All right, Emma, I don't know if you're watching. I think you're going to like this one. How to change your habits. Start with your identity. Now that you know the types of habits, which one should you try to implement? For long-lasting behavior change, Claire recommends that you create identity-driven habits, like what Domin was talking about earlier. Claire explains that this strategy is unique because most of us try to change our behavior or building goal-driven habits. However, goal-driven habits don't create long-term change because once you meet your goal, you stop performing the behavior. As Claire explains, if you adapt your actions to serve one finite purpose, your actions also become finite. For example, say you ace a test for which you spend 2 extra hours every day studying. Since you've achieved your goal, you stop this behavior because there's no reason to keep studying. But since you stop studying, you never develop the long-term habits you need to improve your overall academic performance. So, yeah. There's some notes here, but I'll just skip to this. Instead of focusing on goal-driven habits, Claire recommends creating identity-driven habits because these in turn will dictate the system and goal-driven habits you choose. Claire contends that the beliefs of the person you want to be dictate what systems you implement. I like this specifically because it's all about, it helps me think of, I've failed in so many things in my life. I restarted college, 3 times, marriage failed, jobs that I left, or I've had enough failures to realize, okay, Kamga, if you want to feel bad for yourself, you're going to have a long list of things to feel bad for. But what I'm hearing here is Claire contends that the beliefs of the person you want to be dictate what systems you implement. So if, for example, maybe you're like me, you want to lose weight, then you have to think of, I want to be a healthy person, or I want to be, I don't know, someone who goes to the gym. I'm thinking, I need to probably refine that. So the question is, what does that person do? Can we figure out the things that this person does, the goals that this person has, the systems that this person builds, then you're able to achieve the goal eventually. Identity-driven habits help you decide what game to play. Process-driven habits teach you how to play the game, and goal-driven habits help you to win the game. So it's like a combination of all these three. So you need to start with a desired identity to find the right habits that lead to the right result. In other words, you need to create identity-driven habits. I think that's it. That's yeah. That's the message. You're welcome, Katie. There's only so many hours in a day. Yes, there is only so many hours in a day. I love reading, but I think my fun fact has always been that I have never read a book to the very end. I think saying that to myself over the years hindered me from ever reading a book to the end. It's a good catch. So I guess one way to undo that would be to start, first of all, to stop saying it. And maybe start saying, I'm the type of person who finishes my books. But I'm also thinking about how that will make you want to finish books that you shouldn't be finishing. Because I think even when you're reading, there's some books that just suck. There are books that I've started reading and I'm like, this is a terrible book. I'm not going to finish this book. So, I don't know. Maybe just stop saying that. maybe that's a good place to begin. Just don't say it. And then, start from there. I think that's a good place to begin. That's a true divergence. What we say about ourselves, what we believe, and it becomes the truth. Yes, it does. Yeah, because in the beginning was the Word, and Word was God, and what you say, your words can be very powerful. They can hurt, they can heal, they can help, they can hinder, they can cause people to feel, loved or left out. So I think when you begin by treating yourself with more love and being more considerate about the things that you say to yourself, like having some grace, like, yes, I have failed at this. I did not keep to this habit. I have let myself go. I am broke, whatever. Yes, that's what you wear. Now, who do you want to become? I think that's a good place to start. Yeah. Lauren, any last comments before we exit? And, I'm sure it's already, 5 o'clock for you? So you're getting ready to... I'm glad Baby Zo did not jump in here because I know she's the boss of this whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
She's sleeping?
What?
Is she sleeping?
No, she's up.
Oh, really? What? Okay, that's cool. I thought she was sleeping this whole time.
She just come at the moment. She has taken her medication and she's doing well.
All right. Maybe it's my voice that
Then
is just
everything's
soothing.
fine.
She's just like, oh, that's such a hungry fellow. I shouldn't cry because it's going to be annoying. But yeah, I think this book is a great book for people who want to change habits. People who want to figure out systems and ways to begin to improve their lives. I'm going to read it again and pick up a few things to use. But yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
think.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a few more seconds and then we'll call it end of the stream. Wait, did I answer your question about how to improve the reading in the group? I don't think I did. I feel like I jumped over it.
Yeah, no, we didn't talk about it yet.
Okay. I mean, the first is that people have to be interested in wanting to read now. Right now, we cannot force anybody to do it. I don't believe in forcing people to do anything because I hate to be forced to do anything.
Yeah.
So,
The thing is, I can remember I feel like a lot of people are inspired, they want to do it, but at the end of the day, they don't really commit to do it. I'm sure people wish that they could read, but they are just not reading.
I guess I have to begin with why. Like the Simon Sinek book started with why. Like, why do they want to read? Because if you want to read just because you want to say they want to read, it's not a good enough reason. I don't want to judge. I think, let me put it this way. It's not a good enough reason in the sense that it's not going to keep you going. Because I read because I actually like reading. And also because I have so many questions that most people don't have answers to, that I tend to find the answers in books. I read because they have access to all these experts and specialists that is like, okay, if I'm confused about, oh, why am I not able to maintain my habits? Like, what is wrong with me? Why do I keep doing this thing that I don't want to do? Why do I keep saying this thing that I don't really want to say? Like, what is my problem? I find a book that could help me understand that. So I'm interested in finding this answer. So I think cultivating a baseline curiosity is important because it's not just about reading. It's like, why are you reading? If you don't know why you're reading, you'll never read. So let me give a couple of reasons to read. Say you're making not much money. You're not making a lot of money right now. One good reason to read will be to get skills that will help you make money. Say you don't feel very healthy. You feel like you could do better in terms of how you eat, how you work out, how you rest, how you interact, because you see that maybe your energy levels are making you feel you're not very productive at work because you feel very tired. They're like, okay, I need to find out how to solve this problem. I think people who want to read need to find a reason that is bigger than I want people to know that I'm reading. So if I think if people are able to acknowledge and have those conversations, which is what I'm hoping the book club people start doing now, actually talking about, okay, here's what I want to do, here's what I want to do. Because if people don't talk about it, then even you or me who wants to help them will not be able to help them. I keep saying I was lucky because I was in a house where they didn't stop me from reading. And then I also went to a school where one of my lecturers in Form 3, Mr. Cha Eugene, actually he the way he taught literature just made me enjoy it. Like I just found it fascinating. Like that somebody could be so cool because they were able to tell stories. And so that interest and that admiration for this teacher helped me enjoy reading more. So I picked up the habit, and then now I can buy my own books, I can listen to audiobooks, I can listen to ebooks, I can throw books. I mean, I buy more books than I read, to be honest. More of my money goes to books, and I've read, the amount of books that I've read is like this compared to the amount of books that I have that I've not read. There's so many. I have like my ebook library is so, I know I would never read these books, but I'm always buying them. Maybe I'm addicted to buying books. I actually had issues with my ex-wife because of that. I was buying so many books. For me, books are my love language. When I talk with somebody, I'm like, have you read this book? Yes, thank you. Because now it makes it so much easier for me to explain something to them than having to go and recall or tell them, okay, go and read this book. Or it's like somebody who likes to watch movies, right? Maybe it's entertaining, but maybe also you're a writer. So when you watch movies, you pick up like things in the movie. Oh, I like the way this character said this thing. I like the way this director did that. I like this lighting. Like, so yeah. I have my, I feel that to want to read, to want to do anything, not just reading. If there's something that you want to do, you need to find a reason that is bigger than just because. It's like, I want to make money. Why? It It'd be nice. Sure, it'd be nice. But some days you're going to wake up and you don't want to do the thing that you need to do to make the money. That it would be nice, will not be a good enough reason. For me, reading is the way that I think reading has been the cheapest form of therapy for me, because if I wasn't reading, I'll probably be mad. So it's a survival mechanism. I have to read or I'll go crazy. But yeah. Let me read the comments here. Rather than adding some good thing to our lives, for example, reading, it's about what it's been taken out. Like taking out an hour of Netflix. What we want to do won't happen on accident. Yes. Kid, like you talked about earlier with we only have so many hours in a day. And I think, Lauren, you also mentioned this. People try to change things overnight. Like, okay, I'm going to start reading one book per week. When you haven't read the past 6 months, like, no. Be like, I'm going to read 5 minutes today. I'm going to read 5 pages. And that's it. Like, put a very small goal. That is one of the things in the checklist. Put a small goal. 5 pages, 5 minutes. Do that for a week. Within a week, I can assure you, if you do 5 minutes a day, by the second week or third week, you'll be like, this 5 minutes is not even enough. Like, I want to read more, just a little bit. And by the time you keep adding it, soon enough, it'll be 30 minutes. Soon enough, it'll be an hour. Soon you'll be taking days where you'll be like, okay, I need to read for 3 hours. Because you're building progressive overload. Starting from the beginning and wanting to leave from, I have never read consistently, to I want to start reading consistently. It doesn't happen overnight. And the mistake that people make is that they want to try to build this habit, whether it's going to the gym, eating healthy, being, calm, being stoic. Like, these are habits that you build over time. And that's the point of this book. It's like building systems that help you to build habits that will last for a lifetime, not overnight. Because it's not so much about the habit itself, it's who you become in the process. And who you are today is a mix of all the things that you've done. Like, Lauren, can you imagine what you had to eat to grow? I don't know. Let's say you have this finger, right? I mean, no, there's like protein inside or whatever it is. Minerals that had to get in your body for this finger to be the way it is right now. And then wake up one morning, you're like, I want to have a shorter finger. Like, no, you can't. You have to start eating different things. I don't know. Maybe go do surgery. No. Maybe travel a different country. Like, changing a habit like reading doesn't happen because you just feel like it. And it's not as if you're going to have like a moment in your life where something bad will happen. Oh my God, I need to start reading more. Like, right, reading is not exactly one of those habits that you pick up out of trauma. It's something that you pick up because you start small, you enjoy doing it, you grow into it, and then soon enough you cannot stop it. Like most habits, it's like smoking. You don't start smoking a pack overnight. You start a little bit, and then soon enough you cannot stop smoking. And the Queen, yeah, Mr. Cha made reading interesting. He definitely did. When I look at teachers like Mr. Cha, Miss Dora, like there are a couple of teachers in my life who have really impacted me. I will never forget what they did and how just the way they carried themselves and the way the way they did their jobs was very inspiring. Mr. Cha is definitely one of them. Still remember in lower seat, him picking me from the science class to go and give the PTA thing. It's something that I would never, like, at the time I was like, why is this man doing this? Why is he disturbing my life? But I look back now, like, that was actually a key moment for a mentor, a teacher, like a father figure, to see, like, you have this thing in you. I'm going to put you in a position where you're going to find it for yourself 10 years later or something. But yeah, that was I agree with you, Eda Queen. He definitely made teaching really interesting. My Amazon book wishes is huge. I don't have the money to actually get them all. I know. See, if I open my cart, I just add things to cart and just leave them there. Because one thing I noticed, actually, it's probably the note we're going to end on this habit. I noticed that I had the habit of buying too many books. And so what I did is I put like a gap stop. Like, okay, I like to buy books, but I don't read all the books that I buy. And I'm losing money because I'm buying all these books that I don't read. I'm not getting value out of it. So what I'm going to do now is when I see a book that I like, I put it in the cart and I leave it there. I leave it there for like a week, 2 weeks. If I still really want to buy it after that time, then I'll buy it. At least I'll have time to save for the money. But I try not to buy impulsively now unless, no, I don't mind. I don't try to give myself a reason because if I do, I'll just find a way to escape. Yeah. Lorraine, thank you so much for hanging out. It's been nice having somebody to talk to because I'll probably be talking to myself this whole hour. But yeah. Katie, I will let you guys have the rest of your evening. Eda Queen, thank you for watching. I didn't know you were watching from Facebook. I think someone's watching there and YouTube. But this will probably stay on and anybody can watch at any given time. Like I mentioned earlier, we have a newsletter that you can go ahead and sign up to. It's you go to that link, you'll find it. You will get a checklist to help you if you want to read more. And I'll be sending more resources if people want to read more. It's a book club. Those who want to join the book club were supposed to leave their comments here. So nobody left comments, it means nobody's going to join the book club. And we'll continue working with the members of the current book club because the goal is really to build a community of people who love to read, who want to read, and who are able to use reading to achieve their goals. I think reading 1,000 books doesn't make you any better than anybody. The people who've never read more than 10 books in their lives, and they are very successful in many areas of their existence. So reading doesn't make you any better than somebody who doesn't read. I think there's a quote that says, the person who doesn't read good books is not any better than the person who doesn't read at all, something like that. So if you want to join the community, you want to be a member of us, you can always reach out. We can leave a comment right now. But we open the book club once a month during the review, and then we pick the book for the next session. So Lorraine, which book do you want to read next?
Well, which book do I want to read next? I'd like to read something from Chimamanda.
Oh,
I've
yeah?
never read any of Chimamanda's books,
Ooh.
and I've actually heard a lot of awesome and nice things about her books. So
yeah, we can do Purple Hibiscus. I think
Purple Hibiscus.
Purple Hibiscus. We can definitely do that. I mean, the goal was for us to actually come here, talk with everybody, and have that conversation. But since we're just two of us, this is everybody. So there's Purple Hibiscus. There's half of a yellow sun. Half of a yellow sun is huge, and it's yeah. Let's see. I say Purple Hibiscus 1 because it's the first one that I read and I really loved. Oh, we can also read what? We can all be feminists. I mean, it's a small book, small read, quick read we can get. So you find the book, you let me know, and then I'll find a way to get it, and let's do it. That's what we're going to do. So for the month of February, we're going to be reading Chimamanda, and we'll just find the book that we're going to read.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we leave,
yes,
Kamga, I would just like to really appreciate you. I'd like to say thank you.
Of course.
For showing me the light, for always being there. You know, we go way back. You were just talking now about how the little habits that we create over the years, you know, make us into who we are today. What we have been eating has made us who we are today. And you were the person who introduced me into how to use social media responsibly. When we first met back in the university, I think it was in 2015. Yeah, 2015, 2014. Yeah, we have always known each other, but we were not that close. But for some reason, you had done like this little gathering at your place where we came to listen to. You wanted to introduce us to podcasts. I was one of the people who came to your place
Glory,
that day.
Yana,
Yes, and some other people. So I mean, you had this passion, and I was just wondering, where is Kamga taking us to? Okay, today is going to be podcast, tomorrow is going to be books, tomorrow is going to be poems. So I was just like, this guy is really smart, he's so creative, he knows everything. And not only that, you had so many resources to share with me. When we met, I was in a position in my life where, or I was in a place in my life where I was not really how can I put this to not be very bad. I was not really feeling motivated. Okay. Yeah, we go to school, we learn and all that, but after going to school, after being inspired by I mean, we're in journalism school, after learning all of those things and then going back home, you're not motivated by anything, you're not seeing any person at home that you can look up to. So you just have to like figure out where you can hang on, who can actually inspire me, who can allow me to be this journalist I want to become. So you actually introduced me to Gary V, books, listening to podcasts, and I didn't even do like 10% of all the things you wanted me to do to become a better person. I just did like just a little. And I've actually seen massive changes because I started being interested in reading some books, because there are actually books that I've read before and they were inspired by you. Listen to some podcasts and just trying to be a better person. And I eventually had this idea to come up with a YouTube channel. From starting a YouTube channel to getting interested in video editing. I didn't know how to create videos, but now I create videos and people are like, "Oh, your editing is wonderful." Yes, but the inspiration came from one thing and then it started going to the next, to the next, to the next. Today I can create videos. Tomorrow, today, now I'm trying to be very good at graphics. I started with Canva. Now I'm going to the next level. And there are so many other things that I'm still learning because we constantly have a conversation. For some reason, I've never lost your contact since all of this year. So I'm really thankful. And I feel like the way I am today is also because of the quality of people I met in my life. And you're one of those people. And I really want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate you a lot. I can remember there was even a day when, like, having access to the internet was so difficult. And I can remember this day you told me, if you can just meet me at Active Spaces in Boya, I'm going to give you internet for a month. And the way I rushed to arrive that place, and you gave me back then it was 10,000 francs for 1 gigabyte a day. I'm sure we are it's still the same thing till today, and it was everything to me. I had never ever in my life had 10,000 francs for internet. For what? I was always having like maybe 100 to 50, and I was just managing. So you gave me like that first monthly package, and from that month, I don't know, for some reason I always had internet. Like I just saw having internet in my phone as a necessity, and it has just made me who I am today. And I really want to appreciate you. I've met other people along the way who have also motivated me, but that one person who like opened the door to ask you to get in there was
Yeah.
you. And I really just want to say thank you for making me who I am today, for showing me the light, for helping me to grow, to have those atomic habits that has made me to be to believe in myself, because that's what you've always wanted. Like I said, I have not even done 10% of all the things that you want me to do. If I was following everything that you're asking me to do, I'll have probably been a writer, because you introduced me to medium.com. I was reading from medium.com, sharing their posts everywhere. I was just crazy about reading. I've not always been like that. Reading for us was always like you just want to read to pass an exam, or okay, yeah, literature. I did literature. I even did A1 by the way, but I was just trying to just go to the next class. I just want to go to the next class. I was going to reading. So
Yeah.
I'm really grateful, Kamga. I'm truly, truly grateful. And I don't know where life is taking you, because I feel like there are greater things for you. And I
Amen.
want to see you achieve all your goals. I want to see you achieve all your goals. And
Lorraine,
of
this
course, I
is
want to be in your goals.
Lorraine, this is really really nice. Yeah. It's thank you.
Thank you too.
Yeah, it's I don't know what to tell you. I think it's easy to forget sometimes, because when you spend so much time trying to do things and then you don't get like
Yeah.
direct feedback, you just get used to not getting it, and then you're like, oh, that's just the way it is. So I'm probably going to listen to this many times, especially when things are not going very well. So thank you very much. It means a lot to me. I was just thinking to myself, like, this is like an early birthday present, because whenever my birthday is coming, I usually think about like the past year and the next year and what I'm getting close to and stuff like that. So thanks. Maybe I'm faster crying on camera here.
Don't cry. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Kamga.
Thank you, Lorraine.
And
I
you were
think
always
you've
so very happy for me. I can remember when I told you I was doing internship at Media Freak, and then you came to Media Freak. I'm sure you don't even remember you were there. You came to see me like, okay, so you're doing this. I'm
yeah.
really, really grateful.
It's
Truly
and I
grateful.
think one thing to that I need to let you know is, like you said, the people who have access to all these things, and you talk to people and give them advice and give them feedback, but not everybody takes action. I think you should not don't underestimate the role that you have played in making yourself to this point. It's true that I may have helped, I may have opened the door, but you walked through it. Like you took
Yeah.
action, you did the thing, and you yourself you're growing into a wonderful, amazing. And it's because you're a wonderful, amazing woman that you're able to do the things that you're doing. So as much as I'm grateful and I'm happy that we're able to meet and connect and open those doors, I think you should not you should not forget that you walk through it yourself. So yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
Thanks, Baby Zo. Thank you, Baby Zo, for not waking up while we're having conversation, for chilling. I look forward to hanging out with her at some point in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks, Lorraine. I'll end the stream here, and whoever needs
Okay.
to come and talk can talk. Actually, I think I can end the stream and we can see chat even as well. I'll see here. But yeah, I'll just let
Yeah.
I'll just end the stream. It's 1 hour 20 minutes to talk about this book. Rated, highly recommended, 5 stars. But the best recommendation that you can have, even based on our last chat, is just take action, like Lorraine did.
Yeah. Take
Yep.
action.
Sweet. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. And next live stream will be announced on the stream. And if you're not yet on the newsletter, go ahead and join it, because that's where we'll probably put more information about the book club and all those conversations. So thanks for hanging out.